This is part 4 of our Minish Cap walkthrough, and in this part we're going to be tackling the first half of the Deepwood Shrine.
And man, this is like one of my favorite themes. Actually, this is probably my favorite theme in the whole game. I just come here, I just love this theme. By far the best dungeon theme, obviously, in my opinion. Only, but Red, you also think that too.
It is.
I'm telling you right now, that's what you think too. Okay.
It is one of my favorites, and I also kind of knew the first time I came into this dungeon. Not only the theme, I thought you might like this dungeon because
I do.
It's got the forest kind of aspects that I know you enjoy a lot.
Yeah, I mean it's forest, but we're also Minish, so it's just like bushes, I guess, and we're just smaller. But yeah, I do like what you said, the forest aspect of it.
Yeah,
and then also later on we'll get a little bit of water in this dungeon.
Oh yeah.
It kind of reminds me in a way of Skyview from Skyward Sword.
Yes, it does. Where you get mix.
Yeah, well, at first we get a little bit of water and a little bit of forest.
And I do like how you brought up the fact that like we're Minish in here, so instead of being like a jungle, I'm used to this.
Choked on my beer. Go ahead.
Let me pause while I get the Heimlich maneuver here. Sorry, but wrong pipe there.
Yeah.
I like how, like you said, it's not like trees and stuff. It's just little leaves you see on the ground and little leaves you see in the corners of the dungeon.
It really makes the art style of this game stand out. Like it's not too much. It's not overpowering. It's just kind of like it's kind of like a border on a frame in a way. That's kind of what it makes me think of.
Now I do like this is not a bad opening dungeon at all, but one thing that does kind of aggravate me is the directions that Eslo keeps giving you.
And like you get that in every Zelda game, like it just starts off a little slow, and like before we even got into this dungeon, Eslo was giving us 20,000 direction, but
he was.
I mean, it kind of does hold your hand for the first. Maybe his whole part, to be honest with you. I mean, I know it's quite a while, but...
And I understand it, because this dungeon is made to, like, introduce us to the mechanics.
Well, here's the thing, like, I understand 3D games and, like, something like Skyward Sword, like, with a lot of motion controls, and, like, kind of like a lot of buttons. This is like a 2D handheld game.
Yeah.
It's really not that hard to figure out.
And on that, it was, the 4th handheld at that point, too?
Yeah,
so, I guess there's some...
Well, if you don't count the Oracle Mages like me, then it's your second one, but...
True. But, I love this big central barrel.
I was going to say that.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Go right ahead.
Well, no, you go ahead. I mean, we just I don't know what to say now, but I mean, I just think it's a great concept. I mean, we always talk about new ideas that were brought up in Zelda games that never been used. Just I don't know, getting to have a barrel and rolling it, and that's the way you get to different places. I thought it was just a genius idea.
It really was. And even just this very first part where we light these little vines on fire to drop it down to where we can spin it.
Yeah,
I thought it was just a really nice little touch.
But whoever's trying to hold that thing up by putting vines to a torch is just, I mean, if you think about it, the designer of this place or the upkeeper is not very smart.
They did not think that way all the way through. Especially when the switch to the torches are right there as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's put the vines going to a torch and set that hold up perfectly.
Yeah. Now, these little mushroom guys, they don't really hurt us, but they do kind of get a little annoying.
Yeah,
And we can't kill them until we get the item from this dungeon a little later on. But we'll get our revenge on them later.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. I go nuts with them, too. Because, like I said, those things are, they're just so annoying. Like, because they have, like, those, not hard heads, but, like, you can't kill them, right?
Yeah. You tried.
Yeah, well,
you kind of knocked
them out of your enemy.
Yeah, you kind of knocked them out of your way, at least. But another really nice little touch I really like here is when you see, like, these... lines on the floor.
Yes,
where it's like that's where you drag things. That's where you push things.
And I wish I would know that the first time playing this game. Like I didn't have a clue what those really were. Like I think I eventually picked up on them. But like, I mean, I do agree with you. It's kind of cool. Like you probably have to go one or two spots. I guess you could say.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice little visual aid that they give you, and it's in every dungeon in the game, as far as I know. That just shows you. Kind of where you need to be.
Well, you really had no clue. I mean, like, you know, if you miss it right there, I mean, I guess you kind of just go back to the mushroom, I guess.
We tried.
Well, I mean, I didn't mess up in this whole game, so I'm really not sure what happens. But, I mean, it is kind of a nice little helper, I guess.
And I like how it makes it look like someone's been in this dungeon before and done this. Like, someone's walked on that
I never really thought about that. That's a good point. Like, I kind of understand more of like how I guess the skid marks are right here because of the jar. Yeah. The mushroom, I guess, doesn't make a lot of sense.
That part makes a little less sense. Yeah. I agree. But
it's the first time in the Zelda game something didn't make sense.
Yeah, only the first time. Speaking of those mushrooms earlier, I know we're kind of going back in time a little bit here, but I loved the mechanic of using those mushroom slingshots to.
Oh yes, that was awesome. That was awesome. And when we use the item later on to kind of, not so much use them in a different way, but I guess it kind of is a different way. But
it really is.
I mean, getting slingshot, I mean, I would love to do that, like, in real life.
No doubt.
You know, so, I mean, yeah, I was definitely a fan of that.
They had those giant slingshots at some fairs and stuff where just shoot. But so something like that, it's like you kind of.
But I want a mushroom though. I don't want a slingshot. I want a mushroom that I can somehow hold on to. I want to know what like what kind of mushrooms are these, man?
I don't know.
Like, if you I mean, you see how strong they are. Like, if these are shrooms that you do, I mean, my lord!
Here I am, I'm sitting here thinking like Mario-style mushrooms, where it'll just make you like, you're going to grow back into regular size inside the shrine or something. You're over here talking about doing shrooms.
I'm just saying, they look like some strong shrooms.
They do. But like you kind of mentioned like new mechanics and stuff like that. And it's just, like you said, just something new like that that I'm aware of.
Like, I mean, like, do you think that relates to Mario right there? I mean, obviously, like you say mushrooms, yes, Mario, but like, do you think that's just like a mechanic they just used, or were they somehow related back to Mario in a small way, I guess?
Just like, I mean, the visual, I mean, obviously, I guess, you know, the Mario mushrooms look red as opposed to blue, but other than that,
it's like an elastic mushroom. It's no, that's not even a real mushroom. That's a plastic mushroom.
It must be.
Somebody come in here and painted plastic mushrooms all over this place. Although
those Minish.
Well, plastic doesn't really stretch though. You know, I don't know what those things are.
What's Stretch Armstrong made out of?
I don't know stretchy stuff.
Elastic. We'll go with that.
Elastic. They're elastic mushrooms, is what they are.
And kind of along the same lines as the marks on the floor from moving. The little trails these slugs leave behind.
I didn't even know they did that.
It's just little white slime trails.
First of all, I want to know how they flip off their backs. Like when they land, there's no way those things with the muscle capacity can actually flip over.
I mean, you might imagine them like rolling over, but not flipping. Yeah,
their backs are a little curved, I guess. But like I said, I never noticed the trail they left.
And it's really small right behind them. But again, it's just one of those nice little touches that somebody thought of. Hey, these are slugs. They should leave.
Yeah, and man, I hate these enemies throughout the entire game. Like they just move like all kinds of crazy directions. And they just need to become a pain, really.
And we also fight tougher versions of them later. I think they're a different color.
Yeah, like they're probably blue. Seems like in Zelda games, like, you know, the easier enemy's always red and the harder one's always blue.
Makes you think of Dark Nuts, doesn't it?
Well, that's actually exactly what I was thinking of, was the blue Dark Nuts from the original Zelda.
Not to bring back Horde memories or anything like that.
Hey, it's a classic, though. It's a classic.
It is a classic. But
you know what? Can I go back to, like, you know, the whole Force thing, like... Just like, I mean, like we said, like I love the art style of this game.
Yeah.
But just like that green with the blue, I don't know, I think it just goes really well with this dungeon.
It does, and also like if you see like over some of these archways and things like that, it also looks like there's some overgrown vines and things like that on those arches. There's there's
just like a lot of little things in this game, like, and we said like the Game Boy Advance had a little bit better technology,
of course,
which allowed you to do things like this. But I mean, they really, I don't know, I think they did a lot with this game, to be honest with you.
I think they did too. Just really good art.
Now, what's this game? Matterpillar?
Like Matterpillar.
Matterpillar, I was close.
I love that name of this guy, and he definitely reminds us of, obviously, what is it, Moldorm?
Yeah, Moldorm. He doesn't knock off the stupid edge, then go all the way back down to a level below, and then you walk up and restart the fight all over again.
I like the idea of having to hit him on the nose and then run all the way around to his tail. It's like a two-stage attack type.
Could you imagine in Link to the Past if we had to do that with Moldorm?
Oh,
hit him in the face and then go back and hit him in the tail. Oh my lord,
we'd have never gotten out of the Tower of Hera.
Oh no, we wouldn't have. We would quit playing Zelda, really. Now,
we would have been done.
One thing I do hate though is these webs right here. They weren't too much of a pain right there, but you can bounce off those webs. And later on, there's some parts like later on, like I think we won't talk about, you know, we won't spoil too much, like, you know, if nobody's ever seen this game, but later on, those can become a pain.
They do, and it's awesome. Speaking of, again, another piece of heart that's pretty easy to miss right there. Now, are there 2 pieces of heart in every dungeon in this game?
No, there's not.
I know because this
I think in the first couple ones there are, but I don't think it's in every single dungeon.
It may not be.
Which means there probably are 2 heart pieces in every single dungeon.
I couldn't remember just because
I'm thinking the 4th dungeon we go into, because I just did that recently. Yeah. I'm thinking there's not 2 pieces in there.
Okay. Well, I'm just happy right now, and we kind of mentioned these enemies a few minutes ago, how you couldn't kill them.
Yeah, we can finally kill them now.
Now we got those Gust Bellows, we're in good shape.
And now we got the Mysterious Shells, which we'll actually talk about that in the next part, because this will go up and wrap up walkthrough 4 of the Minish Cap.